Hey guys! Welcome. Today is the final third lesson in the Make Backdrop Bootcamp. We're so happy to see you all here. Say us hi in the chat. We can see your comments. We can say someone is saying it's the best way to end this Friday. It's here. Yeah. It's so good to hear that. We're so happy that you're here. We're pumped to begin the training. Hello to Spain, to Milan, to Florida,
to Berlin, to Rome. Thank you for joining us all this week. This is amazing week of our Make Backdrop
training
Bootcamp.
And growing together. So today we have the lesson 3. We can turn on the slides and begin.
Yeah, let's start our training. So,
welcome to the final lesson in the Make Backdrop Bootcamp. For those who are joining us for the first time, I'm Aisve.
And I'm Justinas.
And we are founders of the Myko Studio and creators of Creative Portrait Academy. Let us know if you will be watching a replay. There will be an option as well. You won't see the chat, which is live now, but you will see an option to comment below, so you can ask us questions there and just let us know if there's anything that you want to share and ask us.
Yeah, so, and if you are watching on YouTube, please confirm your name, just clicking below, above the video.
In the Facebook community.
So we can see clearly your name.
Click on StreamYard so we could see your name, because I can see that someone is joining us from Facebook, but we can't see your names. So just click above the video and we will see you.
Okay, so let's move to today's lesson.
I can see someone is saying, I would like to start every morning with you guys. You give such a positive energy. It's so nice to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we already had our lesson 1 and lesson 2. And if you haven't watched it, we covered a lot, and it's really, you will have time to watch the replays. They are all recorded. So if you're joining for the first lesson, for the final third lesson as today, don't worry, stay there until the end, and you can watch the replays later on.
Yeah, but be sure that you watch the replays as soon as you can, because the replays will be available for a limited time. So.
Yeah. So in the lesson 1, we walked around our studio and showed you our different backdrops, and we talked about that you could start thinking what texture you want to create for your backdrop and what colors you might want to choose as well. All those backdrops are filmed, how we create those, and they are inside the Creative Portrait Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked how you guys can hang your backdrops in different ways. We showed you our invisible backdrop hanging system. So if you haven't watched it, I really recommend to go back on top of your screen on our Myko Studio page. You will see 3 options to watch the first lesson, the second lesson, and when this replay will be available to watch the third lesson. And we also talked how to store your backdrops so they wouldn't get wrinkled and they would be ready to use.
And in lesson 2, we talked about different priming methods, how it's different priming, what tools you need to use, which fabric to choose. We talked about muslin and regular flat canvas we are using for flat backgrounds, and how to choose colors. So let's move to our today lesson.
Lesson 3.
Lesson 3.
Which is really exciting, because in this lesson, we'll talk about the backdrop roadmap. Yeah. So how to apply primer and color, because we get asked a lot. We get messages from you asking how to apply the primer. So we'll show you that. And we'll also talk about the first steps in creating textures. And we also talk about what's inside Creative Portrait Academy and how you can join for those who want to take the next step.
Yeah, and after the training, we will answer all of your questions. We just regularly, like last lessons, we just drop a line and you can put your questions and we will ask everything, because we stay here until we answer all of your questions today. So
yeah, because I can see there are some questions already. So yeah, keep them coming and you can repeat them afterwards, after the training. So there might be different reasons why you showed up today. And we know, guys, that you are incredibly busy, but you showed up here for a specific reason. And that reason is to create backdrops. So you might have still doubts, even though we walked through the lesson 1 and lesson 2, but you still might think, I want to create backdrops, but you might feel uncertain. You have tried to create backdrops before, but you don't know what are the exact steps to make a professional backdrop, what you need to do in a step-by-step order to create the backdrops that you want.
Or maybe you feel stuck. You want to create more different parties, but you don't have enough backdrop in your studio. Because when you have a variety of backdrops, you can create amazing photo shoots and up-level your photography faster.
Yeah, let us know if any of this resonates with you in the chat. You might feel also disappointed because you can't have as many backdrops as you want, because you would need to spend a lot of money to buy many backdrops in your studio. And when you are creating it yourself, it really saves you a lot of money.
Maybe you want more. You are intrigued by the idea that you can simply use backdrops and up-level your photography.
And we are sure that you guys can create backdrops, because we have a lot of students from different parts of the world, and we are here to show you the process. So now we will go to the training part. We didn't want to change our clothes, so we will show you a video, because otherwise it will be a little bit messy to paint during the live. So we have a recorded video of how we apply the primer and the paint mixed into the primer, because a lot of you guys asked which paint you can mix into the primer, and also how the process looks when you paint simply on the floor.
Yeah, in this station, I mixed my primer with liquid color pigment, which colors the primer, and regular the primer is actually white. So as you can see, I am painting on unprimed canvas, which is, firstly, I laid down the plastic sheet, 0.020 millimeter, and then I steam the canvas. I iron some places which are more wrinkled, and then I lay it down and just starting painting the backdrop. And as you can see, I'm rolling in one direction, because it's really important to start from one direction to another, because this
way you can flatten out the canvas, because you can see it's not stretched out and stapled on the wooden platform. So it's not super flat. You can see some bumps on the canvas, but while you're priming it, you can really make it stick to the plastic underneath, and it will be completely flat.
Yeah, and it's important to go in this step just slowly, just taking your roller. And when you put your roller into a roller tray, you take a lot of paint, but actually the canvas absorbs a lot of paint, so you just roll one way and back another way, and your roller is empty without paint. So you everything leaving on the canvas surface. So I am adding a lot of paint in this station. And if you're painting, if you want to paint on unprimed canvas, you need to a lot of more paint. So in this station, I'm priming and painting the texture at the same time.
Someone is making fun that we could do a drinking game, take a sip every time they say backdrop. Yeah, we say backdrop a lot. It's one of our main themes. So yeah, and as you can see, it's very easy to work and prime with not stapled canvas. So as we said, all you need to have is flat floor, lay the plastic sheet, and apply the primer. It's very easy process. Anyone can do it. And when you're mixing your primer with paint, you can already make a very subtle texture just by applying it, or you can make it just as a first layer for your backdrop, and then apply paint in a different methods and create multiple layers to create a different texture.
Yeah, and when you purchase like mixed paint already with color, they mix perfectly. But when you are putting liquid pigment in your acrylic primer, you shake it with a bucket like 5 minutes, but you don't get that even color in the bucket. So when you are painting in this way, you get in some area more pigment, then it's darker, in other area more lighter because it's less pigment. So this is one of the easiest way how to start creating backdrops. So that's why we want to show you this way today.
Berger is asking, is that wall primer or gesso? This is a wall acrylic primer, because wall acrylic primer, you can pour it into a roller tray and roll it on your canvas, on your unprimed canvas. And if you wanted to use gesso, you would need to use a spatula and put it on a stretched canvas.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. If you, we talked about it in the lesson too. So if you missed it, it's really good to just go back and watch it. We talked about the difference between acrylic primer and the gesso primer.
Yeah, and one more question about PVA glue. We don't recommend use PVA glue because it's easier to work with acrylic primer, because glue is glue and it makes the canvas stiff and it's uncontrollable. So when you are working with primer, you can easily apply it everything. So, and as you can see in this step, I worked around half backdrop.
Half of the canvas?
Yeah, I applied everything almost evenly, and then I started from one corner to...
From the middle to another side.
Yeah. And then you can see that when you saw a little bit of wrinkles, you can just take your leg and stretch a little bit your canvas in to make it more flattened.
Don't be afraid to step on it. It's a painting process. You can step on it slightly. And I wanted to add one more thing about PVA. You can put it as a sort of primer, but it's very good if you are priming with gesso or acrylic primer. If you painted the canvas and you have some wrinkles in it, you can spray a little bit water until it will be flattened out. If you use PVA glue, you will have whatever you have in your backdrop, you will have it forever. Let's say that. If you have some wrinkles, it will be there.
Yeah, and when you saw that here is a little bit white lines, so I'm just walking around, rolling to make it more evenly, because in the final result, I don't want that lines visible.
You were also creating this backdrop as a floor backdrop.
Yeah.
So we created it with a very, very subtle texture because we wanted it that way. And yeah, as I said, it can be just the first layer or the final look of your backdrop.
Yeah, and this is one really great question. You mix the primer with the paint. Actually, I mixed primer with liquid, with water. 50 to 50%, and then I mixed it with liquid pigment, which is not paint. Yeah, which is paint, but it's more concentrated and it's more...
It has more pigment, so it has more color in it.
Yeah.
But you can also mix into acrylic primer or gesso artist acrylic paint.
The size of this backdrop is 2.1 meter to 3 meter.
Yeah. So as you can see, the place which is covered with acrylic primer and paint, it's really flattened out. If you remember how it looked in the beginning of the video, you saw some spots with the wrinkles, and now it's flattened out. So yeah, it's a very easy process. If you have flat floor, just a plastic sheet and you can paint backdrops. And we'll also show you the difference, how we apply acrylic primer on a stretched canvas later on.
Yeah. So, and when you're painting, you sometimes see that it comes with wrinkles, because sometimes canvas is just, because it's not very flat and it's not stretched, so it can have wrinkles, so you can just take with your finger, just stretch it a little bit and then roll again. And as you can see, it's not very hard to make everything flat on the plastic sheet. It's a little bit slower process, but if you can't make a platform or
you just don't want to,
or you're just starting, I recommend just start with this way, and it's quite easy, and yeah, it's one of the best options to start. And now you can see I am blending white spots because I wanted to make more evenly and more.
Yeah, it's always very important when you're working with the roller and applying the paint or primer, just to roll in one spot a few times. You don't want to see those lines, so it's always just walk around and smoothen it out. June is asking, is this raw canvas to start with? Yes, it's 100% cotton canvas, which is unprimed. And we prepared it as we explained in the lesson 2. So it's a canvas from a roll. We cut a piece of a size that we wanted our backdrop to be. Then we hanged it to steam it with a steamer.
Yeah.
And then it was ready to use, to prime. And yeah, one of the ways, as we said, you could prime it with a simple acrylic primer, pour a little bit of water into it, prime it, leave it until the primer will get dry. Or you could mix in some paints and add the first layer with the color. So there are a few different ways. You can start either with a white canvas, or you can add some color, and adding color is actually really, really useful if you're thinking that you want to create dark backdrop.
Yeah.
So you don't need to start with the white backdrop. You can start with the darker base color on it.
Because it's one of the faster way, because you skip one layering. So you are just priming and making the base layer for your next backdrop.
Yeah, because as we say, you always need a base layer for your backdrop. And as you remembered, I told you the color theory. Why it's okay?
We're back.
We're back. As I said about the color theory, that it's the easiest way to choose 3 colors for your first backdrop, and just pick one color as your base color and apply it on an entire canvas, and then use 2 different colors to mix in between to create the texture on it.
Yeah, and as you can see, there is some a little bit visible spots from a plastic sheet, but when it gets dry, it would be quite flat. And if I saw some wrinkles, I just hang the backdrop, spray it with water, and leave it, and just final result is completely flat surface, flat background.
And someone is asking, Guda, does anyone know where we can get that size canvas in the UK? We were shipping before to the UK, but you can ask inside the Migo Studio community. We have students from the UK, so I think they will recommend you.
So, and okay, now I share.
You want to switch to another video? Okay.
Yeah,
so now we will show how we apply acrylic primer when the canvas is stretched. You will see the difference. The canvas is already flattened out because it is stretched, and it's way easier because the canvas doesn't move when you're applying the primer.
Yeah, so it looks like you are painting floor or wall because everything is stretched, and yeah, the canvas absorbs a lot of paint. So just you put your roller into a roller tray, take paint, and actually is almost you can cover almost one line with this type backdrop. And this backdrop size is 2.9 meter to 4 meter, which is behind us, this one.
It's actually a portable wall made with backdrop. And we also show you how to create portable walls inside our Creative Portrait Academy. There was something that I wanted to, Ellison is asking, can you use wall acrylic primer for the both layers? So we actually just need to prime it with acrylic primer, and when it's primed, it's ready to paint, and you can use paint to create textures.
Why is it white in the tray and going on brown? Because it's mixed with liquid pigment and it's quite light. But when you're putting on the canvas, it's become more darker, and when it's dry, it gets a little bit lighter. So that's why. Just
someone is asking, Melissa, how do you cut the canvas straight? It's a good question. When you have a canvas, you just usually, when you have it on a roll, maybe we should show them with a canvas.
I can.
But it is actually very simple. You just cut maybe that one. You just cut a little bit with scissors, and then you tear it, and it's a very good line, and it's straight. But yeah, we'll do a little performance for you. It's actually, this one is primed.
Yep.
So
you just, I can show you just simple way. Maybe move to a bigger window and stop a little bit this one. In one direction, you can just move this way, so you get straight line, or you can put a large straight metal
or something, and use a paper knife to cut it. But it's usually an easiest way, and if you tried to cut it with the scissors and a straight line, it wouldn't be that easy.
And actually it works in one way, because in other it's different woven, so you can't tear it.
Pavel is asking, is it just one layer of primer? If you're priming with acrylic primer, then yes, it's one layer. You can add the second layer. But for the gesso, you need to add 2-3 layers to cover it properly.
Actually, when I am priming one way, one direction, and when I'm moving in different direction, adding a little bit more primer to make everything more even.
So it's kind of like 1.5 layers, but with acrylic primer, you can say that it's just 1 layer. Alina is asking, if my floor is not really flat, will the floor texture imprint on canvas?
Yes, of course. Because in my studio, I have some lines, which is...
I think it was visible in another video, but we have some lines.
You can see it. This one is metal in between concrete, so this is very old floor,
but these are even out, so they're not very visible on the canvas when you paint it. But if you have some tiles, you will see it in your backdrop. If it's something that you want, you can add that texture. Anna is asking, can you use painter's pigments from art store to color your primer? Yes.
Actually, the liquid pigment is good to color, because all paints in factory is coloring by liquid concentrate pigment, because there is a lot of paint in small amount of bottle, so you get the color more brighter.
To prime the canvas, the roller doesn't have a texture. We talked about it in the lesson too, but it's a simple long hair roller, which is usually used for walls for outside walls or for uneven walls. So it's just a simple roller. And you, as Justina said in the previous lesson, you don't need to use sponge rollers. It's just a simple long head roller.
Just watch our previous lesson and we will answer everything in more detailed way. So, what about chalk paint? Can it be used? Yes, you can paint with chalk paint too, but
we don't use it, but our students use it sometimes.
I used once in one backdrop, but I prefer using more artistic paint. Okay.
I think we can leave the questions for the end as well, for the Q&A, and move to the slides back again.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is, as we said, can be when you're putting the primer into your when you're putting paint into the primer, it can be a very subtle texture, or it can be just the first layer of your backdrop. And we have a question for you guys. Would you like us to teach you how to create more and different backdrops? Let us know. If yes, then...
If yes, Creative Portrait Academy is the only program like this in the world that not only shows how exactly you can create backdrops, but also how to photograph with this. Actually, there is no program like this exists. We created it because we want to have photography opportunity, to have that photographers has an opportunity to create as many backdrops as we want, because to create backdrops is more cheaper and you can have a variety of backdrops and you get the faster result in your leveling photography.
I can see many yeses coming in. So we will show you a video what's inside our Creative Portrait Academy, so you can get a better idea, and then we'll walk you through what is inside each model. So can we put on... So this is what you're gonna get inside the Creative Portrait Academy course. Let's go through the categories. It has 7 categories, and inside of each category, it has many videos inside of it. So let's go and see how it looks, so you would get a better view and understanding what's inside of it.
So yeah, let's start from Start Here module. You'll find video walkthrough, how to use this course. You'll find how to get to join to community, what is recommended tools, and how to contact us if you have some questions.
Yeah, so this module is really here for you to make the most out of the course.
Yeah, the second is core training. In this module, there's a lot of information, how to start preparation, what canvas to choose, what materials to use, what paint to choose, what primers to use, how to prime backdrops, how to prepare them before painting. So this module is really important. And there's a lot of valuable information.
Yeah, this is the main module. It has all the information you need to know to prepare for the creative process to create your backdrops. As Justina said, different priming methods, different paints, and how to mix those paints and which paints to choose, because there are a variety of paints that you can use. And we show how different paints looks on the canvas and which paints to use depending on which priming method you have chosen to use. So everything is simplified in all of this core module. So if you walk through this, you're ready to take the next step and to paint the textures.
Also, one important module is storing, how to correctly store your backdrops, because it's really important to roll them correctly and store them, because otherwise you get wrinkles in your backdrops.
Yeah, and it's so nice that you can just take the backdrop and use instantly after you took it from the storage room.
Then we have texture trainings, where we show 15 different textures. Yeah. We can start from like this texture, from how to create a muslin type backdrop. You'll find how the backdrop looks, what tools you have slide, what tools you need, what paint to use.
And the muslin type backdrop is the one that is that is made to cover the apple boxes or any other props. It's not the one that is flat and is used behind the module. and it has such a big variety of different textures. Our students asked us, oh, how we can paint this backdrop, or how we can paint this type of backdrop. So it really has all the different aspects that you might be looking in the backdrops. So yeah, it has more subtle looks, it has more visible texture, it has all the layerings explained. And me and Justinas, we are not painters. So we started this process. We experimented so much. We made so many mistakes and ruined so much canvas that we are explaining it in a very simple and systematic way, in a step-by-step process. It's very easy to follow these videos and replicate it on your own as well.
Yeah. So...
Oh, did we mention the downloadable files that you can get?
Of course. All textures has their own downloadable files. You can find down below the video. All files has step-by-step way how to implement all the steps. And it's really important when you are creating your own backdrop to know these steps before painting.
Yeah, and it's amazing that you can, as you're watching the video, you can ask questions here and just comment below and get answer from us, as you're creating the backdrops. Another module is Studio Props. It's so good. It is about creating portable walls, apple boxes, how to make those apple boxes look older and used, and also how to create a portable photo studio stand to show up your work. Yeah, it has everything inside that you would need to create your perfect photo studio setup.
Also, there is BTS from my photo shoots. You will find how I'm using natural light in my studio. It's a photo shoot with daylight. Another video is how to use different lighting, like how I'm mixing natural light with backlight, and how the backdrops are changing when you are using them in natural light, and how they looks when you are using with artificial light.
Yeah, and it's so true. You're gonna see how to use the backdrops in real life, how to match it with the clothes that the model is wearing, and how it changes depending, as Justina said, either natural light or using the artificial light. So it has everything you need to create the backdrops and how to use them, how to create that unique style that really belongs to you, that you are the one that created it.
Also, in part 3, we'll find how I'm using natural evening light with shadows, or how I'm using them in backlight. So there is unlimited possibilities, and you will find a lot of information in these lessons too.
And then there's also creativity module, because you as a photographer, you need so much inspiration. You're all constantly creating, and you need those creative juices to be flowing, and you need to be motivated and to get that spark in creativity all the time. So Justinas is talking about how to tackle those creativity blocks and just really walk through them. And yeah, all of this is already available instantly as you join the course. But if there will be any lessons that we will release in the future, you will also get instant access to them as well. And you will also get recordings of this 3 days live training as well inside the course. Okay, so let's summarize what you're gonna get inside Creative Portrait Academy once you enroll. So, once you enroll, you get all the modules, all the videos that we showed you previously, which is a lot, and you will be able to create backdrops and up-level your portrait photography with the #1 program that doesn't exist. No one is teaching how to create backdrops and how to use them, and how to create photo studio props, and how to photograph with it and create your unique style.
Yeah, like our student Urshka, she created 15 different sizes and colors of backdrops in her studio. It's easy to follow, and we have made a huge difference for my business. Urshka said that. And it's really important when you have a variety of backdrop, you can create you have unlimited possibilities. You can create different mood, different look for your portraits. You can match backdrops with your with model clothes. So it's really important when you have a variety of backdrops.
Yeah, Donna Maria said she cannot thank us enough for providing this platform and the motivation to create these backdrops. And she said that she learned so many valuable lessons out of it. And yeah, as as Urshka said, Remigius is saying the same thing, that he couldn't believe it could be so simple to paint the backdrops. So yeah, we wanted to make the process as simple as possible, because it is annoying if you get the tools and you paint the backdrop and it's not what you wanted. So that's why we provide all the information, all the support, so you will get the result that you're looking for. Yeah, Creative Portrait Academy is the masterclass, the Make Backdrop Masterclass 2.0. If you have been with us for many years, we have been teaching this for several years now. And we used to have a masterclass, and it had only the backdrop creation process there. But we wanted it to be more in-depth course, and we wanted to have it how to use the backdrops and how to create the props. And so it would be like a really academy for portrait photographers. So you would get enrolled and have everything. And as you see, there are so many students' portraits here with their own backdrops that they created, and we really believe that your work belongs here as well.
Yeah, and you can create backdrops in different colors to get different mood. You can see a lot of portraits from our students here, and all portraits look different with different color tone and so on. So it's amazing what you can do with backdrops.
No one can really replicate the backdrop that you created. It's completely unique to you.
Yeah, and you can see our students' backdrop creation process. We're creating various techniques, various colors, and it's amazing to see their workspace, how we're painting backdrops in different locations, like outside, in the garage, or even in the kitchen or event. So
yeah, it's really possible to paint the backdrop everywhere if you want to. And yeah, the results that you're gonna get after you enroll, it will help you to spark the creativity, to create backdrops and studio props, and find like-minded photographers from all over the globe and become a better photographer along the way, along this journey. It will help you to form your unique and personal style, and you will be attracting your ideal clients with that.
yeah, and you'll find here 40 plus lessons, downloadable materials, 12 plus hours of content. More content is coming soon. When you join, you get future updates too, a community with like-minded photographers, and all videos have English subtitles. So yeah.
It's so much that you will be just mind blown. As we said, what is included? You get the core trainings that we showed you previously, how to choose canvas, paints, colors, different tools to create backdrops, how to mix paint, and how to create your own colors, and 15 different texture trainings, how to create multi-layers on the backdrop, and so on. It has subtle textures and more visible textures.
Yeah, and you can see how the backdrop looks with model and without model, different tones, different colors, different subtle visible textures. You can just scroll down and you will see all the textures what you will get inside Creative Portrait Academy.
Yeah, just go for the various textures. You don't need to create them all. Just go and pick the ones that you would like to have and own in your studio.
Also, there is a Studio Props module. You'll find how to create portable walls, Apple boxes, photo stands.
And also behind the scenes from the photo shoots and creativity module, how to awaken your creativity and make unique shots, the best tips and lessons, how to become a well-known photographer, and so much more.
Yeah, and Creative Portrait Academy is for you if you want to fill your studio with backdrops, you are thinking how to create unique style, you want to save thousands and thousands of dollars for backdrops, you want to up-level your photography, and you want to spark your creativity.
Yeah, because me and Justinas, we really wanted to have backdrops in our studio, But we didn't want to spend all that money. And that's why we started to experiment with creating backdrops. And then we had a variety that we always dreamed about. And then photographers started asking us to share our knowledge, how we paint backdrops. And this is how we started having students all over the globe and just sharing what we know with them. And as you see, Felipe has so many backdrops. It blows my mind in various colors, in various textures. And it adds so much more weight to his work. His work changed so much and evolved after he started using the backdrops in his photography.
Yeah, Walter created a lot of backdrops too, and he said you will have a big part in all of my photo shoots, which is really amazing because we are super happy when you are creating backdrops and you get amazing results.
Yeah, it's always so nice to really see what you guys created with the backdrops because it really always blows my mind to see the progress. It's especially visible on our students' Instagram because you can see there the progression, how the works looked like and how it evolved and changed after they implemented and started using the backdrops in their work. So yeah, you can see here Donna Maria and Remigius are using backdrops as well, and it adds so much more to those portraits. I'm in love with those.
Yeah, and as Christina said, I can't imagine my life without your course. Backdrops changed my photography. And yeah, it's really because Christina painted backdrops for her maternity photo shoots, she painted backdrops for newborn photo shoots, for Christmas decorations, and you can use backdrops almost in all niches in your photography genres.
Yeah, this is so true because this course is really life-changing. Jeremy said that it opened a whole new world for him. When clients walk in, they see the backdrops and they can feel what is about to come. It adds so much more weight to your photo studio, wherever you're creating that studio, either at your home or either in a rental space. But it just has that feeling of the professional look in the studio as you walk in as a client.
Like Urshka, she used the same backdrop but with different lighting, and you can see how the backdrop looks differently with different lighting. So it's really amazing. It's unlimited possibilities.
Yeah, Emma said that her work is looking 10 times better after she started using backdrops. Can you imagine it? It really helps to up-level your work. It really helps you to stand out from the crowd. And yeah, Jeremy is using the backdrop for the first time, and here is a picture of the creative process. It's really fun to create those new backdrops for your photo shoots.
Yeah, Remig is creating backdrop corners, which gives you more better feeling in portraits.
Yeah, and you can use the backdrop as the background and also as the floor as well. The possibilities are limitless, as Justina said, when you start using the textures in your work.
Yeah, you can see Emma is creating backdrops in the kitchen and...
Yeah, once you enroll in the Creative Portrait Academy, there are no excuses that you cannot create the backdrops. And yeah, it's amazing once you paint the backdrops to see the first shot taken with it.
Yeah, and regular price for Creative Portrait Academy is $497. But because you are here in this training, you get a special discount, almost $200, and the price is $299. So it's really good price for you to join today because you get instant access to all of the 40 lessons. You get support where you can ask questions, all videos have subtitles, and also amazing bonuses.
Yeah, you get bonus downloadable worksheets with a step-by-step guides, which is valued of $297, and members only group, which is valued at $197. All of this you get for free. You get replay of these live recordings that you watched, and the value is $397. And you also get a bonus how to get testimonials from the clients. and the value is 97. You get this additional course once you enroll. And it's really important to get the testimonials from the clients, because that is actually how you attract new clients, by sharing testimonials of the people that you worked with.
Yeah, so this is your opportunity to join Creative Portrait Academy today. Save almost $200, and we can't wait to see you here. Just click down below and join us in Creative Portrait Academy.
Yeah, enroll today and get instant access to everything that we showed you today. We can't wait to see you inside. The price is only available now, so make the use out of it. And me and Justinas, we can't wait to see you there. So click the button below and we will see you inside.